Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, discusses bilateral relations, regional and international situations with the foreign ministers of Russia, Norway and Lebanon. The Civil Services Council discusses arrangement of occupational situations of some employees' categories in line with their units, specializations and responsibilities. And a memorandum of understanding is signed to protect natural elements of the Omani environment. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the death of His Royal Highness Prince Nawaf bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, Special Advisor to the custodian of the two holy mosques. His Majesty the Sultan has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Xi Jinping of China on his country's National Day. And His Majesty also sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Nikos Anastasiades of Cyprus on his country's independence anniversary. And His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari of Nigeria on his country's National Day. Within the context of diplomatic efforts of the Sultanate's delegation participating in works of the United Nations General Assembly in its 70th round in New York, His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, met with His Excellency Sergei Lavrov, Foreign Minister of Russia. During the meeting, they viewed relations between the Sultanate and Russia and ways of enhancing them in all fields. The meeting also tackled the latest developments in regional and international arenas, particularly that related to the refugee issues and situation in Syria, Yemen and the occupied Palestinian territories. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, also met His Excellency Borg Brendi, Foreign Minister of Norway. Their talks were topped by relations between the two countries and ways of developing them in various fields, besides situations in the region in light of developments being witnessed by a number of Arab countries, especially in that related to combating terrorism and refugees situation. And His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, met in New York City with His Excellency Gibran Basel, Foreign Minister of Lebanon. They discussed relations between the Sultanate and Lebanon, besides situations in regional and international arenas, especially that related to refugee issues and situation in Syria, Yemen and the occupied Palestinian territories. The Sultanate stressed the importance of Article 7 in the works of the Human Rights Council for Noble Humanitarian Causes, which was created far away from politicization and double standards, to be transparent and honest in portraying the incursions experienced in the Palestinian lands and other occupied Arab territories that are exposed to Israeli violations, as this is the first settlement condition in the world for decades. This came in the Sultanate's speech delivered by His Excellency Abdullah bin Nasser al-Rahbi, Sultanate's ambassador and its permanent envoy to the United Nations, before the 30th round of the Human Rights Council. The Sultanate strongly condemned the dangerous escalations by Israel and its repeated break into the Aqsa Mosque, its violations on the worshippers and undermining of freedom of worship, which increased recently under protection from Israeli occupation forces. The Sultanate condemned the continuation of systematic Israeli policy to Judaize the occupied city of Jerusalem, to change its demographic layout and to detach it from its Palestinian environ. Arrangement of occupational situations of some employees' categories in a way that goes in line with their unit specializations and duties as well as responsibilities of their positions topped the discussions of the Civil Services Council during today's meeting. The Council, acquainted with a number of matters related to employment and contracting applications from some technical posts. It also viewed the report on training plans of the current year for government units. The Council also viewed applications on specifying official work duties for or work by shift system for some units of the state's administrative apparatus, in line with the nature of units' works and specializations. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council. The Environment Protection Office in the Diwan of the Royal Court signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Petroleum Development Oman PDO company. The MOU focused on establishing 3 water wells in Jaluni Wildlife Sanctuary. It also highlighted the project of studying Arabian oryx in desert environments. The project will help the researchers and specialists in Environment Protection Office to identify the challenges and difficulties facing the Arabian oryx in the natural environment. The MOU came to shed light on the joint environmental cooperation between both sides, in addition to preserving the Omani environment and endangered animals. Yasser bin Ubaid al-Salami, Director General of Environment Protection Office at the Diwan of the Royal Court, revealed the establishment of a touristic camp in the Jaluni Wildlife Sanctuary in the Wilaya of Haima. He added that the camp will acquaint the visitors and tourists with the wildlife in the area, as well as introduce them to the Bedouin life around the sanctuary. And still to come in our news bulletin. Samail Castle is a historical landmark that attracts tourists from inside and outside the Sultanate. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The National Center for Genetic Health launched the comprehensive educational program for genetic guidance. Practicing preventive treatment of genetic diseases, top discussions touched upon in the program. This program works on qualifying and preparing genetic guides with higher degree. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Saidi, Minister of Health, presided over the launch. Within the celebration of the World Tourism Day, which falls on September 27th each year, Oman Tourism College organized a touristic forum with wide attendance from experts and specialists in the tourism field. Under the theme of this year, 1 billion tourists, 1 billion opportunities, the forum was accompanied with a touristic exhibition targeting participants and the college students to introduce them with the Sultanate's touristic locations, as well as providing training opportunities for the students. The experts who participated in this forum praised the touristic potentials, services and facilities in the Sultanate. The tourism movement in the Sultanate witnessed a remarkable growth, as the statistical indicators pointed out that over 2 million tourists visited the Sultanate last year. The annual growth during the past 10 years, 2005 to 2014, stood at 7.4%. The Shura Council organized a training and qualification program for the Secretariat General employees to provide technical support to the members. More details in the following report by Saif bin Khalfan Al-Kindi.
The training session paid more focus on developing parliamentary skills of the staff working in a Shura Majlis. It came as part of the annual training scheme of work aiming at providing the participants with sufficient skills. Hamad bin Mohammed al-Mukhini, a legislative expert and one of the lecturers, emphasized the importance of dealing with the efficacy of the participants to indicate their essential needs.
There is no limit to efficacy. Even in the most well-established parliaments, there would always be new challenges, whether it's challenges to do with the kind of members you have, the kind of topics you have to address. So you always have to keep developing yourself, developing your skills, so there is no limit to how effective you are.
Salim bin Mahmoud al-Harrasi, General Secretary Assistant for Administration and Financial Affairs, pointed out that this program is fundamental for staff. It's one of many similar programs to update the trainees' knowledge with suitable skills, preparing them for the next 8th period of the Majlis. The lecturers were legislative experts and lawyers. They shed light on the facilities granted to Oman Majlis, including state and Shura councils.
It's quite essential for the Secretariat to have the right skills and the knowledge in order to empower members to deliver their competences and their duties.
Maisa Shibliya, working as a follow-up specialist in the Majlis and one of the participants in the training program, talked about the main benefit she gained from such training. She pointed out,
during this course, we are improving our talent in parliament's field, and also we are sharing our experience with experts.
the debate also was mainly on the cycle of the legislative proposals and the steps followed before approving a new law or adapting its articles and subjects. Well, such training courses enable participants to be ready for the 8th session, which is coming in few months, and it will enable them to gain sufficient skills to deal with new members. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, Ashura Council, Muscat.
The Royal Opera House Muscat continues its shows for the current season by hosting Arab and international artists. The house also presents theatrical opera plays conducted by international musicians. The Royal Opera House will celebrate Omani Women's Day on the 17th of October by presenting a number of local and international performances, in addition to traditional arts rendered by Royal Music Band. Various shows of ballet, entertainment dances, flute music and silent moves are also going to be presented. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Batna held its meeting today. During the meeting, the members of the council discussed topics related to the wide range of telecommunication services that will cover 139 villages in various wilayas of the Governorate of South Batna. The meeting also reviewed the plans of the Ministry of Housing to specialize lands for increasing bee honey production in the pastures in the Governorate. It further focused on health, social and environmental issues. The rising cost of the electricity bills during the last period was also among the discussions of the meeting. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Buremi discussed in its 7th meeting this year, reviewing the regulatory solutions in the works of the quarries and crushers. It also discussed the mechanisms of preserving the Governorate's historical locations. A scientific visual show was presented, highlighting a number of negative phenomena caused by these quarries. In the 3rd station of a Royal Award for Youth Initiatives, Scientific Innovation were reviewed in the Wilaya of Ibra in the Governorate of North Sharqiya. The station hosted by Ibra College of Technology included a seminar on innovation implemented by a number of specialists in the field. The seminar highlighted Ibra College of Technology students' innovations in the field of electronic, renewable energy and robots to acknowledge students' innovations and capabilities. On Rocky Peak, Samail Castle has stood for 300 years as one of the prominent historical landmarks in the Wilaya. The castle that overlooks the village Samail narrates the depth of the Omani civilization that goes back to the dawn of history. It underwent renovation 7 years ago and now became an important destination for tourists. The area of the castle is 10,000 square meters and it includes the house of the Wali, a school, mosque and other facilities. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with cloud accumulation and chances of scattered rainfalls over the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas, as well as chances of low clouds on the coastal areas of the Sultanate. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate along the coast of the Sea of Oman, while it will be southeasterly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. And the seas along the coast of the Arabian Sea will be slight to the maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. And along the coast of the Sea of Oman and governorates of Musandam, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, discusses bilateral relations, regional and international situations with the foreign ministers of Russia, Norway and Lebanon. Civil Service Council discusses arrangement of occupational situations of some employees' categories in line with their unit specializations and responsibilities. And a memorandum of understanding is signed to protect natural elements of the Omani environment. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.